Welcome to the Downtown Madison Happenings podcast, where we hear from our members and learn something new about downtown Madison. This podcast is brought to you by the law firm of Carlson, Black, O'Callahan, and Battenberg, located here in downtown Madison. Carlson Black specializes in commercial real estate, business, and tax law. Carlson Black is proud to represent many DMI members in helping build a vibrant and inclusive downtown. Today, we have a really fun guest to talk about an amazing event and an amazing happening that's happening here in downtown. It fits well with our Downtown Happenings podcast. We want to welcome Nick Lombardino, the co-founder, and organizer of CultureCon, an amazing movement that's happening here in Madison. I want to just start off, I don't normally do this, but reading their mission statement for CultureCon, because it really jumps off the page. We believe that everyone deserves the opportunity to work and thrive within organizational cultures that embrace their full and authentic values. I just think that is so important. Nick, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good, Jason. Thank you so much for having me on, and thank you to the entire DMI team. I'm thrilled to be here.
Let's just dive right into that mission statement. It is really powerful, talking about, companies are centered by people, right? And the culture and the culture within the organization. How did you get into this culture work, this organizational culture work to begin with?
I'd say not intentionally. By way of schooling, I graduated with the intention of getting into market research. So I think I've always kind of gravitated towards topics that have to do with social anthropology, consumer psychology. Why do we behave the way that we behave? That's always kind of been innate to who I am, and my poor wife and friends always have to suffer through conversations that go deep down those rabbit holes. But then through my professional career, kind of dabbled across a multitude of different departments and skill sets, but within the last 5 years had an opportunity to kind of dedicate my time and energy to taking care of our company's employees. So I led up a management consulting firm here in Madison called Farwell, growing fast and was getting close to 100 employees. And so it made sense to start committing more time and resources towards employee experience. So I was able to jump into that and help kind of create the foundational framework to help individuals thrive within the company. And of course, that comes down to making sure individuals feel supported, heard, understood, and that they belonged. And so a lot of the vision and mission of CultureCon is born out of some good lessons learned and experiences that I received from having worked at Farwell.
One of the things I love that you just said basically is that, thriving businesses arise from thriving employees. I think that is the crux, right? Any business is only as good as employees. So how do you help businesses make sure they have thriving employees?
Yeah, no, that's a deep, complex question, and I ask myself this every day. I think I'll take refuge in a quote that I heard just before the pandemic started. It's a quote from an American author named Annie Dillard. She's a Pulitzer Prize winning author, and she said, "How we spend our days is, of course, how we spend our lives." And this was before the pandemic started, and that hit me even in the moment as something that I wanted to kind of ruminate on and think about each and every day. The idea is our daily routines and habits have great weight over time in our life trajectory. And so once the pandemic hit, I think that was a really special gift for us as a society, because it forced many of us to think internally about our personal values, what we hold most dear in life, our values, and frankly, if our work was supporting our life goals. And so now we have this, I'll call it an exciting pendulum swing, but there's some shared accountability here. There's definitely an emphasis now on the employers having an onus that they, to some degree, rightfully so, they have an accountability to create an organizational culture and an operating environment that can allow individuals to bring their full authentic self to work each and every day. And that's fantastic. But I think part of the mission of CultureCon is to instill this idea of individual accountability. So to tie this back to the pandemic, I think many of us got more dialed into who we are as people, our intrinsic motivators, our unique strengths, and then determining how we can create accountability to ourselves to bring that best self forward every single day. And that, to us, is that beautiful bridge or catalyst between us being accountable to ourselves and bringing our authentic self forward, and your employer wanting to harness that to the benefit of not only their business objectives, but to one another, the community, peers, and so forth. So hopefully that was enough of a long-winded explanation to get to the root of your question. It's helping companies determine how to navigate organizational culture is deeply rooted in employees having a deep sense of self and knowing that they have great personal influence in guiding the shape of that organizational culture.
I think you nailed the answer. I did ask a very sort of existential question here on a podcast. So yeah, sorry about that. Yes, but
Jason, these are my favorite questions. This is why my wife and friends have to suffer through dinners with me. But yeah, no worries.
The deep questions. All right. So COVID, though, I think is really important. You brought that up significantly. How much did COVID change the environment for workers and management? Did it just accelerate trends that were already in the marketplace, or did it fundamentally change what was already there, or a mixture of both?
I would say a mixture of both. I think the one dynamic that is top of mind for a lot of us right now, and one of the important sessions that'll, shameless plug, be at CultureCon 2022, is a panel discussion around the future of office space. And so there certainly isn't a one-size-fits-all solution to this now remote first or hybrid type of working environment. Each organization has its own unique industry, operating environment, roles within the company. But it is this movement towards giving individuals freedom to work where and how they feel the most productive. But it's also trying to strike the balance to create the right mechanisms where meaningful human connection and collaboration can take place. So some companies are allowing individuals to work 100% remote if they want to, but then giving them a physical office environment to go to when they want to collaborate in person with peers. Obviously, that's not a one-size-fits-all solution, but it is a trend that we're seeing happen more and more, not only in the greater Madison area, but across the country as well.
Big topic, particularly for our members, is talking about what's going to happen with the workforce. There's 55,000 employees downtown. Roughly 50% of them are public sector. What does it look like? I mean, just a question for you. I know you're not Nostradamus, and I've asked about 1,000 people this, but it's always good to hear from an expert like you in workplace culture. What direction do you think downtown Madison, as the place that we are in, where do you think it's headed when it comes to the office market and where employees are going to work? And what do we need to do to try to make sure we have a robust downtown?
I think what'll happen is over time there'll be a little bit of a level set. So although I don't think we'll get back to maybe the same degree of physical infrastructure and office space that we had pre-pandemic, I think we will see a large return to physical office space. And I can speak personally. I've always known I've been an extrovert, but to the extent of the depth of my extrovertedness, I didn't fully grasp it until the pandemic started. So for individuals like myself during the pandemic, if I had a day or two or week, frankly, even months sometimes, where my days were dominated by virtual meetings, trying to collaborate with individuals regularly, virtually, for me was very difficult. A reflection on myself, my empathy goes down considerably if I'm engaging with other humans through screens. Over time, my patience goes way down as well. And so I know enough about myself now for me to bring my best self forward. I need to physically be around other people. It helps restorative properties for my energy. It gives me real-time feedback and collaboration with the people that I want to talk to and be around, and just creates more mechanisms for just non-productive work, right? Taking a walk with a coworker, getting a cup of coffee, catching up, maybe playing a game of cribbage here or there. Sorry, that's the shameless plug for cribbage as well. But that's what I know about myself, and I would have to project that a lot of other people have now much higher degrees of self-awareness on how they know they can bring their best productivity forward and how they can be the best team member to their peers as well.
Love the cribbage reference. Former Peace Corps volunteer who played lots of cribbage, more euchre. So I'm ready for a downtown game of euchre anytime you want, Nick.
Today, we'll do it today.
Perfect. We need to find. Okay, producer Madeline could join us. We'll find one other. Although I have definitely played three-handed before. It's not very much fun. So we'll find a we'll find a fourth. All right. How can our members connect with CultureCon? I think one of the best ways, you brought it up earlier, and you said it was a shameless plug, but we got to get people to go to stuff, is CultureCon, which is happening here in Madison, right downtown at the Madison Concourse Hotel on August 10th and 11th. Check out their website, cultureconusa.org. An absolutely incredible group of speakers that are already signed up. The conference looks fantastic. So how can DMI members get involved? Can DMI members attend CultureCon? And what other ways can we connect with the great work that you're doing?
Yeah, thank you so much for asking. For DMI members specifically, we have a unique discount code just for DMI members. It's discount code DMI20 that you can use at checkout to get 20% off your CultureCon 2022 ticket. But yeah, so we're returning after a 2-year hiatus. We're returning to Madison for our flagship conference. You know, it's an event that's hard to articulate the amount of positive energy that permeates the conference. As you can imagine, the types of individuals that go are ones that share in our movement to want to be able to help inspire positive change around organizational culture within their own organization. So it just feels like a wonderful energy where people are sharing in the abundance of knowledge, sharing lessons learned, participating in breakouts, keynotes, networking opportunities, but maybe most importantly, making those meaningful connections with one another in person that they can carry forward with them beyond the walls of our conference. So this particular year, we have some pretty big companies represented at the conference, tackling topics ranging from diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, innovation, corporate social responsibility, recruiting, hiring, employee engagement, and a myriad of other topics. But then a few of the speakers coming are representing companies like LinkedIn and SAP, Human Rights Watch, JP Morgan, just to name a few. So it's really nice. As much as the conference is a celebration of positive organizational culture, it's very important to us as organizers to make it a celebration of Madison as well, knowing that we're going to have a lot of individuals and companies who are experiencing our beautiful city for the first time. So we've tried to fold in some gamification around getting individuals outside of the venue and walking down State Street, watching sunset at the Memorial Union, of course, cheese curds popping up as an incentive. So we're very, very excited.
Well, I did see for lunch, you're going to the Capitol Square for the food carts as well. So you really are integrated downtown. We are so thankful that you're back downtown. And this means a lot. Tourism industry is a $300 million your industry just in downtown. And it means we need thought leaders like the organizations that you're bringing in to come downtown. All right, last question for you is actually on thought leadership. You're CultureCon's now a member of DMI. We've got several other members of DMI, particularly Artisan Dental, that are B Corps. I think this is a really important movement that's happening now. We discussed it in our Economic Development Committee about a year and a half ago. Why did you decide to become a B Corporation?
Yeah, we felt like by becoming a B Corp, and it's a difficult, rigorous assessment to go through the qualification process. So I don't want to make it sound like this was anything guaranteed, but we wanted to go through the process because we knew that it would underscore our commitment to wanting to drive social change in how we work. And so we felt like if we were fortunate enough to receive that certification, that it would help hold us accountable for achieving these goals that we set out to do. And could not speak more highly of the accrediting organization. B Labs is who's responsible for the B Corp certification. We also had the great benefit of being partnered with a nationally renowned business management and business ethics professor. His name is Dr. David Steingard from St. Joseph's University. It's a phenomenal individual. He actually consults on behalf of the UN for topics kind of surrounding work and workplace culture. And so we had his mentorship and his guidance and a team of talented students to help us go through the process. But they put a lot of time and energy, and rightfully so, towards making sure that they are certifying organizations that are meeting the highest standards of social and environmental impact, and looking at things like how you treat employees, what you're doing within the community, how are you measuring success. And now moving forward, we'll have to reapply and have continued evaluation to make sure we're still meeting those standards. But we were very, very excited to even just go through the process.
To see that you're living your mission that we started off this podcast with through B Corp is pretty inspiring. So Nick Lombardino, thank you so much. Please do join the folks at CultureCon on August 10th and 11th here at the Madison Concourse Hotel. There is more information at cultureconusa.org. Now, Nick, you're not getting off easy though. You didn't know about this. I didn't tell you about it, but we do our Fast and Furious 5, Nick, where I ask you 5 questions and top of mind, just give me your answer. Are you willing to play this game?
Here we go. Come on with it.
I promise it'll be easy. All right. We'll start off with an easy one because you brought it up yourself. What is your favorite cheese curd downtown?
Notice how I'm taking a strategic sip of coffee before I weigh in on that. Oh, old fashioned's great. This is so hard. Old fashioned. Give me the next one.
I don't think there's a wrong answer. I guess don't ask your doctor. They'll probably tell you every not good for you. All right. Besides CultureCon, what's your favorite downtown event?
Live on King Street.
Oh, which will be moving. It's back, by the way, Live on King. Here's your good piece of news. It's back this summer, but it's now going to be live on MLK. So live on Martin Luther King Street.
Oh, no way.
Yes, they're moving it. I actually think more space. Matt Girding and the team at Frank Productions are very excited. So the calendar should come out soon. So there's your insider tip.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. What's your favorite shop downtown?
Favorite shop? Strictly Discs on Monroe Street.
Yeah. That's a good answer. All right. This is my favorite question. I think I answer it every time. Your favorite ice cream flavor from Babcock?
Salted caramel toffee.
You were really good for that one. Wow. I like it. All right. You're doing well with the Fast and Furious 5. Last question. If you have an out of towner, coming to downtown Madison, where's the one place you take them?
Memorial Union. Sunset.
Because you can get ice cream and cheese curds and a sunset and music and everything.
And cribbage. Yep, all together.
We could play euchre. I mean, you keep going back to cribbage, but I'm ready for a game of euchre anytime.
I'd love to play euchre.
I've been known to go alone with just one Bauer. So I am risk averse in life, but
I'm not ready. I'm
pro
not ready.
risk when it comes to euchre. Nick Lombardino, the co-founder and organizer of CultureCon. Thank you for joining us today. Please, everyone, support CultureCon. We hope you'll see me there August 10th and 11th. They've got great speakers coming to downtown Madison. Really, all companies need to make sure they're paying attention to the value of their employees, right? Because thriving companies mean thriving employees. Nick, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jason. Really appreciate being here.
Thank you all for joining us for another Downtown Happenings podcast. Thank you to our great friends at Carlson Black for your continued support. We'll see you on the next episode. Have a great week, and we'll see you downtown. Bye now.